Okay, yes, this judge thing is very serious, but I'm not worried about it. It's not going to stick. Did you see the details? So essentially what they arrested her for was following through with due process. Okay, I mean, that's the watered down version. Okay, that's not going to stick. And they did it on a Friday because Stenchy Grandpa wants to make an example before the weekend. Every weekend, we all get together and embarrass him with how much we don't like him. Have you seen that protesters are now greeting him wherever he shows up at his golf properties, etc.? They're standing there already, like, get out of here. It is everywhere. He can't hide from it. On the weekends, the marches are getting so large that even mainstream is starting to talk about it. His approval is so low, even within his own camp. It's setting world records in the worst way. You've got countries like China straight calling him out. You've got the courts eviscerating his orders. So yeah, they overreached and they're trying to go ahead and whip people up and send them out without due process. And now they went so far as to try to arrest a judge. She's out, by the way. She's not in a cell somewhere. She's out. She has a court date set for May. But like I said, this isn't going to stick. She was doing her job and they're trying to do something to scare the rest of us. Don't be scared of that, darling. They're doing it because all that huff and puff, there's nothing behind it. All of their support is in bots. I told you yesterday, that's why everything glitched out. They brought the bots back because they needed reinforcements and they don't have it within their real people anymore, at least outside of the handful of neighbors of mine that live here in Temecula that are in a bubble and don't understand that they're losing. All right. That is why I'm not as worried about it. And hey, the House that is white itself in an official statement said, hey, Grandpa Stench in charge officially gives no fucks. That's basically, no, that is what they said. And right. I mean, they're not. Yes, he is at the point where he gives no fucks, but it's not because he has absolute power finally. It's because the illusion is crumbling and there's nothing to support it. The clown circus is falling apart. The world is calling him out. He's embarrassed. He's failing, okay? They talked about, speaking of what they're trying to do with all the mass scooting people out, though, you saw that doo-doo department is in cahoots with different government agencies to compile a database of all these illegals and undocumented. And darling, if these people aren't paying taxes and they're so undocumented, then how is it that the government agencies can track them via government paperwork? How is it that the IRS is sharing tax information if they weren't paying taxes? I know. Don't ask the swallowers and the two-teethers in Temecula. Don't ask my neighbors to go figure that out. Okay, their brains don't operate with that many cells still going. But for those of us that can put two and two together, darling, all right, we're not even going to go further into that. Speaking of the doo-doo department, though, I don't know if you also heard that the final numbers are out and they promised $2 trillion in cuts and savings, right? We are now all the way boiled down to they have cut, because we can't say saved. A lot of what they cut was stuff that was already completed or contracts they just reassigned to themselves. So if you boil it all the way down, they maybe cut about $36 billion worth of stuff. Cool, except for they cost us $135 billion worth of expenses to do that. So they didn't even cut enough to cover the expense of what they did. But it was worth it to them because now Ruski has backdoor access to every one of our systems. And again, Congress doesn't care. Nobody cares. This guy has access to all of our information from his house. And again, no one in government seems to care. They care about the talk, but they don't care about any of that. Every person sitting in a seat is an agent of some kind. You've got Unky Drunky Whiskey Petey with his makeup studio who's installing Signal on all of the computers because he's just doubling down on the wrong answer. That's what you do when you put an incompetent chat in a seat. They don't do better. They do worse and throw it in your face. They go, look, see, I'm still not going to get fired. Still not going to see how bad I can fuck up. They're not going to fire me. I'm untouchable. Meritocracy, everyone. Yeah, that's them right now. That's them. Yeah, well, wasn't Easter last week? Last week, dude was like, he is risen. And this week, he's like, I don't give a fuck. So that's them. That's them. So much mother loving winning.